All right, factoring review 2e. Okay, here we go. Another trinomial here. Again, take a look for anything that's common. You look between the 8 and the 14, you think, oh, there's a common, at least a 2 there. But 15 kind of ruins it because 15 is the product of 3 and 5, so there's nothing common to these three terms. So I'm going to jump ahead and start looking at what happens when I try to factor the trinomial. So I take the first term, multiply it by that last term, and that's going to be negative 120x squared. So I'm looking for two expressions whose product is 120x squared, whose sum is 14x. Okay, now I think about that for a little bit here. And this may not be totally obvious, and I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't here. But if you play with those factors of 120, if you just go to your calculator, go 120 and start dividing by increasing values here, it won't take you long to realize that this has to be 20x and 6x. Okay, now the product of these two has got to be negative. That means that's one of these two has got to be negative, but the sum has to be positive 14x, which means the smaller one here has to be the negative. So 20x plus negative 6x, that's what's going to get me the 14. And now remember, these two numbers, or these two expressions here, these are not necessarily, these are not necessarily part of the binomial here. These are the outer and inner products. So let's just say that the outside product here is 20x, the inside product is negative 6x. Okay, now consider the binomials here. The first two terms in each of these binomial factors, their product has to be 8x squared. Okay, but this term right here, this first one, and this term right here, their product has to be 20x. So whatever this is, it has to be basically a factor of 8x squared and a factor of 20x. So I think about it for a little bit, and then I make a guess here. And I make the guess as big as I can, because I could guess 2x. Okay? But I can do better than that. I can guess 4x. And 4x is about as big as I'm going to get here. Now, if this is 4x, the first term of the second factor, okay, because these two, their product has to be 8x squared, this one would have to be 2x. So 4x times 2x is 8x squared. Good. Now, this term here, the first term of the first binomial, the last term in the second binomial, their product has to be 20x. Well, the x is there, and there's a 4, so this one here has to be plus 5. The product of the last term in the first binomial and the first term of the second binomial, their product, I've already said, has to be negative 6. That's what I discovered over here. Well, there's the 2x. So this has got to be negative 3. And so in factored form, that's 4x minus 3 times 2x plus 5.